This is Airmobi TV.
Welcome to Airmobi TV on your youth talk show. This is the best talk that brings the youth on board. I'm your host Peter K, and I have a hot topic today that brings each and every youth, collects all of us together, and we share ideas and thoughts about ourselves. This is peer pressure, and peer pressure, we want to expound on it, find out more about it and how we youths, it has affected us, and it is also affecting the teens who are maybe some years below us. Our guest today on studio will help us figure out much about it and expound, and we share the thoughts we have about this. I'm your host Peter K, and as you watch, I believe you've been maintaining all the COVID-19 protocols to keep yourself and healthy. So just as we get to start about this, will you mind sharing with us your name, your identity, and who you are before we proceed?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ken. I'm privileged this afternoon, and I'm thankful. I've come to share with you more about peer pressure. First of all, my name is Benson Mweo, and I'm a youth. I've experienced this, and we have to understand the meaning. Or we go deep about it, and we shall understand the end of this session. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Benson. I'm your host, Peter K, and as we continue, I hope you'll get to learn more about this. So just as we start, Benson, briefly, in your own understanding, what is peer pressure? We have the two words, peer and pressure. How do you understand the two words brought together?
We have peer and pressure.
Yes.
Peer means peer means we have a group. Let's say a group of same people. Peer means it's a group of people of the same, maybe it could be age.
The same age bracket.
Yeah, age and all that. Then pressure means a push. So this now, to connect to these words that bring up a meaning, peer pressure is a group of people that share a common influence. So peer pressure is an influence of people that are of the same age, could be age, such.
So peer pressure brings on board a group of guys, they relate in one way or the other, age-wise. So what are some of the causes of such items, such things, causes of this peer pressure? Nini huzileta?
So peer pressure inazaletwa na vitu. There are so many things that cause peer pressure. Maybe, for example, for me, if I find that Peter, you have something, or you are in a group, it could be positive or negative. So let's say you are in a positive group, meaning you are doing well, the life I see you are doing well, and things are working well.
Did you think you could?
For me, I feel I need to be in a certain group. That is yours. I need to join you. So I'll be pushed. I'll be pressured in myself to join you. So that is what now we call peer pressure. Because now, if I see someone is doing well, I feel pressured. Or it could be negative. We have types of pressure, peer pressures. So we have negative and we have positive.
Just before we go on, we were talking about some of these causes, and you gave an
Did you think you could stop the few? Did you think you could stop the
some way or the other, or what I'm doing just impresses you? So like in that case, the cause is maybe your desire to fit in my lifestyle or my way of doing things, right? But just before we proceed on either the types or forms of peer pressure, there are other causes maybe that are there in the society that may compel you to join a certain peer pressure, right? Will you just give us maybe one or two causes of this peer pressure apart from your trying to fit in certain caliber? Yes.
So we have causes of peer pressure. It could be dress code, that is, could be maybe you have no money, you feel pressured. There are so many causes of peer pressure.
Just to add on, we maybe have something like you want to be accepted in some society.
Yeah.
Because if you don't join that group, you'll be rejected or scolded. And then that dress code, like you see, for example, a celebrity or the group you are in, kuna vile wanajiva, we call it luku, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So the youths use that slang luku to refer to their dress code. It can be part of the peer pressure. What of like your personal or social confusion or anxiety, like hujielewi, something, can it be a cause to peer pressure?
Yeah, it could be a cause of peer pressure.
In which
Because
way?
it could be, we have types of peer pressure. So kama hujielewi, maybe it's something that we call it's a negative, because you don't understand yourself well. So it's a negative effect of peer pressure.
Just before we continue, keep it tuned on Air Mobi TV, the youth talk show. You can send us your SMS on 07 16 33 44 55, as well as you can get us on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram at Air Mobi TV. Share your thoughts and opinions, and we get it so that we help one another in one way or the other. We just advise and get help from each other. So Benson, back to you. You've been talking about these types of peer pressure. Will you give us a hint on the types of peer pressure, and then you let us know how they affect us, the examples?
So we have different types of peer pressure, but I just want to mention we have about 6 of them types of peer pressure. But majorly we have negative and positive. So positive peer pressure, they are things that will push you, that will be beneficial in your life.
That you won't regret.
Yeah. Things that will not make you regret at any one given point. Now we have another one, the negative side, negative peer pressure. It's where these things will cause you to draw back, or you just regret. They go opposite.
So before we move on to negative, give us just like an example of a positive peer pressure, and then like its effect to you or to the youths who engage in positive peer pressure.
So positive peer pressure, I've said it's beneficial. So these are the things that will be beneficial in your life. For example, if you, Peter, you have a job, you've got a good job, and I feel I need your connection. Maybe I see your life is doing well, and you have no stress in life, your life is doing well, good. I'll be pressured. I'll be pressured to get influenced.
Yeah, what I'm doing.
Yeah. And they get to join you. Another example, let's take an example of students in a school. In a school, we shall have the students that are leading and in the front, and the others are leading from the backward. Now, let's say I'm the one now, I'm here, I'm at the center. So for me, personally, I'll be pressured to join the person or to approach the person who leads from the front. So that will be a peer pressure for me. It will push me to go and seek that person, to get some influence and understand how he or she does things in order to lead.
Then
So-
someone says that positive peer pressure can make you have an increased self-confidence. Is this true?
Yeah, it's true.
And how can it do this?
So having an increased self-confidence, I've said you have to understand yourself. You understand yourself in that you think once you get to that point, you benefit something. So that pushes you with the dreams and visions that you may be having. So you yourself, you know, each and everyone knows themselves.
Yeah.
You understand yourself better. So you'll be pressured to go and gain something. You understand the benefit or the impact of the positive pressure. So you'll be pressured to go and gain something that will benefit you, to help you to get to your destiny better.
Then just on the other side of effects of this positive peer pressure, so someone also concludes that a positive peer pressure reinforces positive habits and attitudes to somebody or to the youth in the society. How does this happen when you are of a positive influence? Like positive peer pressure is like positive influence, right? So how does this reinforce like the positive behavior, the good behavior in the society, the youth in the society, and the good attitudes? Yes. How does this come upon?
So this one, once you are positive in your mind, it starts in your mind that you are positive. And now, you will always be positive in all that you are doing. So, being positive, you'll be attractive to other people. And these people, maybe your colleagues, will see and understand the benefit or the impact of the being positive. Now you'll be influential to your friends. So it's very important to be positive in these peers, because now you'll be beneficial. Even the society will depend on you. So this one will cause others and will attract other friends or colleagues. Will make you once you're positive, things will be working well and will be good. People will love you, will cheer you, and your life will be well.
So what about on the other side? Because nothing good has no negative side. So we have this negative peer pressure. What are some of the causes of this negative peer pressure specifically? What causes you to join a bad group?
Yeah, we are.
Just an instance.
It could be maybe you are stressed in mind. This one is very important to understand. Once you are stressed, it will depend how you take the stress. You can try to be positive or negative, but now, once you are stressed, it means this one lowers your self-esteem, and you will not understand yourself better. So you find yourself you're messing up. You may decide to take drugs, alcohol, and you engage in things that are not healthy in your life.
What are now the final outcome of now engaging in such activities? So like the negative impact, impact of the negative peer pressure.
So the impact is very effective. Affects your life very bad. You could engage in alcohol and you become addictive, and you may end up messing up, or you can engage into sexual immorality, and you find yourself doing things that are very effective and that will cause the society not to feel good about you.
Just on that part of society not to feel good about you. Is it true that negative peer pressure can cause you to distance yourself from both the society, your friends, and family.
It's very true.
Why?
Because now, let's say you used to do things well and you used to be a good person, you know, people used to love you, but now you changes abruptly and you do things that are negative. You know, society will look at you and your family, your colleagues will wonder, what happened to this person? So they will just, you know, they will reject you, they start rejecting you, and you yourself, you feel rejected and you just go. So it's something that will affect the society very badly.
We have youths in campus. They tend to live on some kind of social lifestyle that it has not been part of them since from their background. When you come to campus, you shift to join the team, like we've said, to fit in that caliber, the social status that is there. Which category can you put this type of pressure? Joining a group because now you want to fit.
So this peer influence, we can group it to, you know, it will depend the kind of group they are joining. It could be a good group or bad group. So we have to understand yourselves. As long as you understand yourself and your visions and dreams in your life, this one now, it could be, this one will lead you. Maybe you've a stand, you know, a good, you know, you understand yourself and your self-esteem is very high. So this one depends on how you understand yourself. You can join a certain group that is bad, and you can join a group that is good. So this one depends on how how you've been brought up and how you live with others.
Just a bit on that point of how you've been brought up. Do you mean parents have a role to play?
Yeah, they have a very big role.
Now, when you are out, like, okay, obviously, when a parent raises his or her child, the main aim is to bring up a morally upright person into the society who is responsible. But once you go outside there, you are always yourself. Like you told, you are a grown-up, you can do everything by yourself and you decide what is wrong and what is right. But then when you come, specifically now to universities and colleges, nobody is a kid, yes? But then some of them come from very good families, morally well brought up, I mean. But the moment they join campus, they join drugs and those other bad groups. What can you talk about? What can you say about this?
So the background matters a lot sometimes. It matters a lot. How you've been brought up matters a lot. And the parents, they should be very careful when they are bringing up their children.
But now
They should be...
Here comes a point when something erupts, like when you know the kid or the boy or the child is or the lady is found, like for example with the ban in school, and the parent is called, he or she is even shocked. This is not the kid I raised.
Yeah.
What happens in such a scenario?
Now this one is very tricky. As a parent, you know, once you hear this, you just get shocked and you wonder, what happened to my kid?
Yes.
Now, you have to approach your children or your kid very well. You know, as a parent, how you brought your children, you understand them better. You understand them better than any other person. As long as you are a parent and you have a kid. Now, this child that has been found with maybe bang, all sorts of things, I could advise this. You just go and approach that child, or maybe it could be your niece or what. You are parents, you understand your child better. So just go and approach that child, talk to them, and you know they will open up. They are kids that
But
should
now,
open up.
to the point Tafika and open up, you know, he or she knows mom raised me up well. Hii story hata mama ajui. How ikimfikia yeye mwenyewe anaogopa hata kupiga simu ama kwenda nyumbani. It gets tricky because you even find that some of these students don't go back home. They commit suicide, they go to exile and kitu kama hiyo. What do you think happened? That you can now not go back home to your parents. You decide to live another strange life.
So this one is very tricky. First of all, as a child, they have to understand themselves. To understand themselves. You know, once your self-esteem is high, you understand yourself. But when your self-esteem is low, you just mess up. So the cause of this is a low esteem. They don't understand themselves well. So that's why they go and they mess up, they commit suicide, and they behave in a mannerless life. Now this kid, or this child, who has been, has been found with all these things that are negative, I could advise them that they should first go and sit and relax and think twice. You know, there's a saying that says, think twice before you leap. Before you commit that suicide, go and think yourself and come up with a good solution. Or you could share with someone. You can share with someone about this. Please don't fear. Share with someone. If you have any issue about life, don't commit suicide. Or don't engage yourself in a negative peer pressure. These things are very bad in your life. You can't reach your destiny with negative impact in your life.
Just to hold on, we are going for a short break and we'll be right back here to expound more on this and let you know some of the bits that you think are not covered and maybe you don't have the exact hint about it. Keep it tuned on Air Movie TV. I've been your host, Peter K, together with my guest, Benson Umweo.
Thank you, God, for this new day that you give me to live in faith. Thank you for all the blessings to me and my family, for strength you give me each day, and for the people around me who make life more meaningful. Your love is unending, and I'm so fortunate to have you walking with me. Thank you.
This is Airmobi TV.
The secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret of getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming tasks into smaller, manageable tasks and then starting on the first one. And remember, the future belongs to people who can think, hustle, and create.
This is Airmobi TV.
The secret of getting ahead is getting
Movie TV, the youth talk show. I'm your host, Peter K, and we're still expounding and figuring more about the topic peer pressure. This is something that has adversely affected the youth in the society. Currently, there's a lot of issues that left questions unanswered. The society wonders what really happens. And just to continue about where we left Benson, we would like to, I'd like you to rather tell us more on the forms of peer pressure. Like we've just hinted out as that drug and substance abuse and sex. Are there any other, and how do they affect you, your life as a youth, personally? Yes.
Okay, so I will start with the obvious things. Now, let's start with the things like sex, those are negative impacts or forms of peer pressure. Now, once you engage yourself in sexual immorality, first of all, as a Christian, sexual immorality is a sin. It's a sin. So you have to understand yourself. Sexual morality is a sin, first of all. And this one can cause things like STDIs, there are very many things, effects of sex or sexual immorality. The second one, let's say alcohol. You will have, once you take alcohol, it has this effect, very bad effects, and it's addictive, and it's bad. It's very bad to take alcohol. We have other things like
the clothing choices,
clothing code, dress code. Now, this one is very rampant these days. It's affecting mostly the generation that we have. It is affecting very bad. Some of them could decide to walk naked, it's one,
clothes.
yeah, it's choice, but we have to think twice. First of all, as for me, dress code matters a lot in the matters of maybe how I've been brought up. As for me now, I'm a Christian, and we discourage some dress codes, especially these that are exposing your body. These things are not worthy as a Christian.
But now you see, there's a situation whereby you have your friends, and that is what they do. Basically, what will you have to do? Because Benson and I are of the same peer group, right? And then one of us probably does that, the dress code that isn't morally fit for the society. You as Benson, how will you advise your fellows, your peers, in matters to present themselves?
So let's first of all understand ourselves. I can't mention this one because now.
Why don't you mention? The thing is, when you see your peers generally doing something not good, either morally or just in real sense it isn't logically correct, what will you tell the persons?
So I will tell that person, you just get some advice. We have,
So I just want you to give them that advice from your perspective. What will you advise them?
So my perspective is to just dress well. Someone said, the way you dress is the way you are. Means a lot, and it's the same time it's how you be addressed. How you dress is how you are addressed. Now dress matters a lot. For example, if I could ask you a question, once you are going into an interview, how should you dress?
You should have an officially presentable attire.
Yeah, something presentable. And so this means presentable matters a lot. Being presentable matters a lot. First, you are respected and you are honored. You are not despised. So dress code matters a lot.
What of these other forms of peer pressure, the drinking and those other stuff? What will you tell the person? Like ukipata msee, okay ni beshte yako, but then aizi enda party, akose kukunywa. Like people, okay, the youths currently, we understand, if you get there's a party somewhere, kuna bash. uniform. Obviously, people have to drink and do all that stuffs. What will you tell your friends? Like you go to a party and then you're given, or you have a community made or whatever, a soft drink. Then you are like, you don't fit in our class. That is how they see, right? What will you tell such a person, such group of people?
So such group of people, first of all, if you understand yourself, you not engage yourself in a negative peer pressure. Understanding yourself means a lot. As long as your self-esteem is high, your conscience tells you this is bad, this is right. So my advice is to understand yourself well, and your dreams and where you're supposed to go, you know yourself.
So for you, the key thing about your peers is they ought to understand themselves and maybe their background, where they've come from. Now we have a point where your parents raised you very well. You know your background, where you've come from where you've been raised. To a point where when something happens, just like you said earlier on, nobody understands. Like, is it really you? Is it the person we've known all along? How? And you engaging in it, you knew it was bad. But now that something has happened, what can you do to help you rescue your situation?
So for me, I understand myself.
Just that, put yourself in that shoe. You're talking to fellow youths outside there. Kuna msee alikuwa anajielewa from utotoni. He's been brought up as a good kid, a good man, a good lady. But then coming to kuju, kunaanza kuharibika. Like he joins the other groups and goes astray. Akisha realize mess imetokea, then he anajifinyilia, he does or she doesn't open up. Then there's nobody who now understands what is exactly taking place. Unaweza saidia mtu kama huyu kivipi?
Sasa mtu kama huyu, I could advise this. If you are able, and if your mind is, if you are sober, just seek counseling. Just go and seek some counseling, and you'll be guided how you should live. Or rather, what I'm trying to mean, you have to ignore some things. You have to ignore. You ignore the negative part of life, and you try to, perseverance means a lot. You persevere and you endure, despite the outsiders are speaking things that will influence you negatively or affect you in a negative way. So understand yourself well and raise the standard of self-esteem, and just seek counseling.
Now, keep it tuned on AMOB TV on the Youth Talk Show. Our today's topic is peer pressure that has adversely affected the youths, and you can share with us more of what you think on 0716 33 44 55, as well as at AMOB TV on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And so many youths have dropped out of campus or out of high school because of one or two reasons, probably part of them being the forms and types of peer pressure. At the time you drop out, the parent or the guardian has highly invested in you. He's paid the whole school fees, and you leave that cash there and you drop out of school. What happens in a case where you drop out of school and then you go outside there and again things don't work out? Will you mind coming back, or what do you think such a person can take, an action the person can take to help him or her to rescue the situation?
Now, maybe if you've dropped out of school and all that, that is a negative peer effect. Now, you know, I keep on saying understanding yourself is very important. So just understand yourself and go and seek guidance and counseling. For that matter, you thank me later. And your life will never be the same again, and all will be well.
Just to wind up, how can you give us maybe 1 or 2 ways in which you can prevent the negative peer pressure that are out there in the society?
Okay, first of all, we have you seek guidance and counseling. You understand yourself better by raising the standard of self-esteem. Yeah, maybe if you are Christian, you can pray. Yeah, you can share with someone about, maybe if you are going something that is negative, you can share with someone, they may help you, and you'll be growing into a better person.
Just to add on some of what he said, you can also pay attention to how you feel about something, like have your conscience right of what is taking place, and then you plan ahead. Like you can imagine yourself in that scenario and then think of how you can respond to it effectively. And you should have friends who with the similar values and aspirations as you, so that you avoid the distractions that break out what you wanted to pursue in life. And maybe finally, he talked of seeking guidance from now I add on parents or counselors, professional counselors, and then people you trust, maybe even teachers, so that they can counsel you and give you way forward. Thank you so much, Benson, for turning up on AMOB TV today for the Youth Talk Show. You've helped us find more, get 1 or 2 bits that maybe helps the youths now there to solve the peer pressure situation they are in. So you all say there as a youth, I've been your host, Peter Kent. I hope you've learned something that is going to help you keep off negative peer pressure. In this time of COVID, the negative peer pressure due to idleness and being at home might affect you in so many ways. So stay home, keep safe, and all will be well. Thank you so much. Keep it tuned on AMOB TV. Same time, same place.
The secret of getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming tasks into smaller, manageable tasks and then starting on the first one. And remember, the future belongs to people who can think, hustle, and create.
This is AMOB TV.